Hey everybody, this is Paul doing a Doordash video. So what I wanted to do is I kind of forget, I've been doing this for a while now, and I mention things sometimes on the Reddit, and even people that have like 5,000 deliveries are like, man, I never knew you could do that. Like, what's the instructions on how to do that? That sounds like it would be convenient. So what I decided to do in this video was document a situation where you would want to, so this is a shop and deliver video where you would want to have a store that's closer to you, but the instructions are telling you to go to some store that's just crazy out of the way and then have to turn around and then go back to the customer's house. So these are those situations where you're driving to a store, but you pass like say if it's a Walgreens order, for example, but you pass like three Walgreens on the way to the store they're telling you to go, or like a Winn-Dixie, or CVS, any of these franchise type things. And this only works specifically at franchise type things because the card will recognize it as Walgreens, and that's kind of the thing. So what I've decided to do this time around also is I need to put the caveats, like when you don't do this, up front. Because I had all kinds of people on my other videos like, well, you didn't mention that. I'm like, yeah, I did. You just didn't watch enough of the video. It's in the middle. So caveats. Do not do this from zone to zone. Because from zone to zone, taxes will probably change. Um, they might not even have products available. Like if it's an alcohol order and you're driving into a zone that doesn't have alcohol, like if you're, it's just weird stuff. So just don't do this from zone to zone. So stay in your own zone, and then also be aware, especially like Winn-Dixie, that type of thing. They like to tell you what aisle things are on. So if you go to a different Winn-Dixie, the thing that it says is on aisle 6 might actually end up being on aisle 7. So that's your two caveats. Also, use just common sense here, okay? So here's an example. I've been trying to make one of these videos for a while and get a good example of this. I could have did a Winn-Dixie the other day, but I had a Walgreens this morning that was kind of like a perfect order for this. So here we go. I am right here, as you can see, blue dot. It is telling me to go down the interstate, get off the interstate, go around, and then go here. Or I could either go across the interstate, go down, and then go over. And then to get to the customer's house, I got to go like this, boom, boom. And this doesn't violate customer privacy. This is a massive apartment complex, so good luck figuring that out. So, here's the problem. I am right here right now, okay? Directly on the corner that they want me to go to get to this person. So I could have either gone this way to the right, going this way towards the interstate, or what I could do is there is literally a Winn-Dixie right here on this, or not a Winn-Dixie, a Walgreens right here on this corner. So, and then the customer's house is in this area. So instead of doing this, going all the way down here, then having to get back across the interstate, which is, trust me, traffic through here it is not as pretty as this makes it look. This is not as easy. This is traffic nightmare central right here, especially at the time that I was doing this. So to avoid all that garbage, what I did is there is a Walgreens literally right here. There's one down here and there's one over here, I think somewhere. But the one I want to go to is right here. Okay, so I'm going to pass a Walgreens on the way to go into a Walgreens. So how do you do this? Very simple. You park in the parking lot of where you're going to be at. And it's still telling me, you can see the directions here. It's telling me to go down here. It tells me to get on the interstate and then do like this U-turn craziness. Okay, here's what you do. When you arrive at the location, you park your car. So I'm at the Walgreens right now, blue dot. Hit directions. Okay? Pull up the directions, that like press the little directions button right here and it's going to pull up the little whatever you're using, Google Maps, whatever. Immediately close that garbage. And you're going to get back to this screen. See this screen here? Now there's a different message here. Arrived at store, but you see how it's grayed out because I'm not at this GPS location right now. Click arrived at store and you're going to get this message. Are you sure you've arrived? The Walgreens address. Are you sure you've reached a merchant? In this situation, because it's a Walgreens order and I don't think the route is efficient for what I want, press OK and congratulations, you're done. So what I want to show you here is this was 2.5 miles. Now this was mostly just an example. I can give you examples of way worse ones, but this is say 2.9 miles that they wanted me to drive. Now instead of having to drive that 2.9 miles, and this is after I've already done the pickup and I'm going to the person's house, you can see. So now it's 2.5 miles to the person's house, 6 miles. So I cut off maybe like a mile. Now, when would you want to do this? In a real example, like a bigger example. For example, I've had them say go to a Walgreens that is 6 miles away from the person's house. Or here's one that I get constantly is they think that there's construction down the street on I-10 all the time, like right here down in this further direction, and they want you to do insane instructions. They want you to go to some Walgreens over here to get to a house that's like on this side of I-10 because they think there's some kind of construction, like you can't get across I-10. In reality, what I can do is I can go to this Walgreens right here, and then just go across right here. Or there's another Walgreens over here too, and then go to this person's right here. So this is whenever the app gives you things that are just so off the wall wrong. It hasn't done it too much lately, but I've noticed with like say Winn-Dixie orders, they wanted me to go to a Winn-Dixie that was so far out of the way, close to New Orleans, almost into New Orleans, when there was a Winn-Dixie across the street from me on the way to the customer's house. Now, obviously that thing that I talk about where the aisles might be laid out different comes into play, but that's just an example of how to like, when you get to a place, how to override that. And this is built into the app specifically for when you do actually, like say if you do go to that GPS and it still says you're not at the right GPS, that's literally what this is built into the app for. I've talked to Premium Dasher support about that. They're perfectly fine with this as long as it's like a store like a Walgreens, CVS, Winn-Dixie, whatever else, like say some of y'all get Target orders, that kind of stuff. So like that kind of stuff. But it has to be those types of stores. You can't do this. Yeah, I don't think you can do this. You might be able to do this at like racetracks maybe or something like that, but like just stick to the big stores, the big brand stores that you know that you're going to be driving past like 6 of them on the way there. So there you go. So hopefully this video helps some people out. Put some comments down there if y'all find this useful, and then thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a nice day.